you've been watching all of these sailing content creators living these seemingly dreamy lifestyles, sailing from one tropical island to the next, crossing oceans, exploring all of these exotic locations, and you want to do it too. You also have the same dream, and you're wondering to yourself, how can I possibly start with all of this? My name's Max. I've sailed over 40,000 miles by this point. In my early 20s, I crossed the Atlantic both ways on a 22-foot boat on an absolute shoestring. After that, I bought and rebuilt Elixir, and since then I've sailed halfway around the world from the UK to New Zealand as part of a self-funded circumnavigation, a commercially endorsed yachtmaster, professional captain, marine engineer, and after doing this for 10 years, I built a system that I wish I had when I started. You want to take this sailing pipe dream from an idea to a reality, but it seems like, where do you even start? Like, how do you even start with buying a boat and going sailing? It seems like there's so much to it. It seems so expensive and overwhelming, so this video is for you. This is a bit different from my usual content. If you want to see more updates from sailing around the world, then check out my other videos, but this is purely to help people. So this video is just to share the information that I've learned over the past 10 plus years of sailing halfway around the world, across oceans, on all sorts of different boats, and being a professional sailor. To be fair, there are a lot of people out here doing it on a trust fund, but way more people than you think are just doing it self-funded, fully self-funded. You know, people started with no experience and they've made it work because they're just pursuing this dream and they're passionate about it. And that is really all you need, is passion. Passion can make you do literally anything. I didn't have a trust fund, but my stepdad is a boat builder and he gave me something which is so important, which is knowledge. And he taught me how to maintain a boat and fix stuff, and really that is the most valuable thing. And he just gave me the right mindset that comes with owning a boat and maintaining it and the work that you really need to put in. But in its simplest form, I think there are 3 steps to going from having absolutely no experience or no idea what you're doing to being able to sail around the world and, yeah, cross oceans. The first step is just gaining experience and qualifications. I think both are important and both go hand in hand. The second step is buying a boat or finding a boat, and the third step is, how do you actually sustain this lifestyle? Like, how do you go sailing and make it work long term? All difficult things, but all things that you can for sure make happen. Step number 1 is to gain experience and gain qualifications. So gaining experience, I think there's a few ways to do this. I am an avid enthusiast of sailing dinghies, and I think you can gain so much experience from sailing dinghies because all sailing boats are fundamentally the same. So if you can sail a dinghy and you're confident with that, you can tack up wind and, you know, go round a triangle race course, and you're just confident sailing on a dinghy, you're not capsizing or getting stuck in irons, then that is such a good foundation, because if you can sail a dinghy well, you can probably sail a 40-footer well, and you can probably sail a 100-footer well, so it's kind of the same fundamental principles. So dinghy sailing is such a good way to get started. And the other thing that you can do is you can hop on a race boat as like race crew. There's marinas all over the place with people racing like 1 or 2 nights a week, and as long as you can commit those 2 days, join a race crew and regularly go sailing, you'll learn so much in quite like a high energy, intense racing environment, and it's just a really good way to learn how to trim sails and how to sail a boat quickly and efficiently, and you're with people who are probably going to be quite experienced and know what they're doing, so it's a really good opportunity to learn. So those 2 things are great ways to gain experience initially, and then once you've got a bit of an experience, you can maybe even have your own boat, a little dinghy or something bigger where you go out and learn by yourself. Something small and cheap where like the costs are low and the consequences are low and it doesn't really matter if you make mistakes. So alongside experience, I think it's a good idea to gain qualifications, and if you can have experience and qualifications, then you're just so like well-rounded. And a lot of people think that you don't need any qualifications, and like I didn't have any for a long time. I'd actually sailed halfway around the world to New Zealand before I got my yachtmasters, and when I did take my yachtmasters, it made me realize that there was so much stuff I actually didn't know, and it was kind of scary. So I think it's super important to do qualifications as well, because it'll make you super well-rounded and it will highlight any gaps in your knowledge, because you need to know it all. And yeah, like the RYA route, doing your competent crew, day skipper, and then yachtmaster is the best way to do it. And if you can ultimately get your Yachtmaster Ocean and your AEC 1 and 2, which is an engineering qualification specific to like boats, you're fine. You know all of the information you need to sail anywhere in the world, and you're going to be able to fix anything on a boat. So those 2 qualifications, super achievable, alongside some like sailing experience. Then in terms of knowledge, you're sorted. You can have any boat and sail anywhere in the world. And if you're really keen to get into this lifestyle but don't know where to start, then I've started the Untied Sailing Club, and the idea behind it is to get as many people on the water in the cheapest, safest, most enjoyable way and quickest way possible. So yeah, it's basically a masterclass of all of the knowledge that I've accumulated in the last 10 years of doing this offshore sailing around the world, all of the mistakes I've made so that you don't have to. It's a community full of lots of other people doing the same thing, so it's like an incredible support network. It's got all of the like actual resources, like the toolkits and checklists that I use every day on Elixir, a load of like crewing opportunities and cheap boat listings, and yeah, there's so much more in there. If it's something you're potentially interested in, you want to go sailing, for sure it's going to save you time and money, then check the link in the description, it's all there. Next we're going to buy a boat. This is actually a great time to buy boats because all of these immortal fiberglass boats like Elixir, my boat, were built in the 1970s, 80s, 90s, and fiberglass lasts forever. So these boats that were built for hundreds of thousands of dollars 40 or 50 years ago are now going for like literally 10k, 20k, 30k. You can get some absolute steals. If you're willing to put a bit of work in, you can buy boats for like less than 10k. So there's some real bargains out there. And the thing is like, it doesn't need to be that big. It probably doesn't need to be as big as you think. Like if you're someone who's young and doesn't need that much comfort, you can literally buy a boat for like 5 grand, spend a bit of time refitting it, and then leave and cross oceans. You know, you can buy like 28, 30, 32 footers that are fine, they're comfortable and they're cheap, and you can do it on a budget. Like that's how I did it the first time I went sailing. I bought a boat for £500. It was 22 feet, which is so small, and I sailed it to the Caribbean and back again, spending like almost no money on an absolute shoestring. Like I was just fixing everything, but you can do it on a budget of like honestly like as low as you want, but it's just, you need to have that focus and you really sacrifice comfort and size. I want to use one boat as an example. The S&S 34 is one of the goats of offshore sailing. These boats have been around the world in the Southern Ocean, Jessica Watson's boat, and yeah, they're just so well designed, solid, proven offshore cruisers boats, and I've seen them go for like 15, 20 grand, like real nice boats with well-maintained engine, rigging, sails, wind vane, everything that you can need to cross an ocean, and they're cheap. So these immortal fiberglass boats are a great way to go sailing on a budget if you just want to go. So yeah, check out the S&S 34. I think it's a good example of like an affordable offshore cruising boat. Step number 3 is, how are you going to sustain the lifestyle? So you're going cruising, you're going sailing, you're crossing oceans. You need to, 1, be able to financially support yourself, and 2, you need to be able to physically support yourself by maintaining your vessel. In terms of financially supporting yourself, the way I've done it is, obviously I got my sailing qualification, so I work as a yacht captain doing deliveries, charters. I make content, which is like remote work using Starlink, and post that, so that's another income stream. And I love to write, so I'm like also working remotely, writing articles for books and magazines. So if you did the first step and got some sailing qualifications, then there's a revenue stream for you. And if you can work if you can work remotely and make money online, then download Starlink, and there we go, you've got constant connection. In terms of financially sustaining yourself, there's so many ways you can do it. You just have to be imaginative and creative. And in terms of physically maintaining the boat, you need to know what your boat needs. You need to have a maintenance plan. You need to understand every system on the boat. And yeah, you need to know exactly what jobs need to happen and when in terms of every system on the boat. And all of that information you can find out if you join the Untied Sailing Club, but you can find out other ways. And yeah, it's tough at times. For me, it's been the most difficult thing I've ever done, like having to refit Elixir. I'm literally in the middle of refitting my boat right now. It's been really tough, but the rewards are just unreal. That feeling of arriving in an exotic foreign place after sailing across an ocean is just like so good. The feeling of being alone in the middle of the ocean for days and weeks on end is unreal, and yeah, guaranteed you're gonna love it. It's 100% worth it, but it's tough to get started for sure. So yeah, I hope this has inspired anyone who's interested in doing something similar. For sure, you should go for it 100%. I can guarantee that if you get to the stage where you actually have left on your boat, first of all, congrats, that's like a huge achievement, but also for sure, You will not regret it. It'll be one of the best things you've ever done, and I can't stress how good this experience has been for me. Like, I've met some amazing people, seen some incredible places, seen the world, the ocean in such a beautiful way. Yeah, you're gonna love it. And yeah, if you want to do it in the quickest, cheapest, safest, most enjoyable way possible, then check out the Untied Sailing Club with the link, which I'll put in the description. Yeah, you're gonna love it. See you out there.